Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Dr. Abid Sargani. Today our lecture is cow signals. I am going to tell you that what are the cow signals and how to identify these signals. Let's start. At the every moment of the day, cows alarms the owners are the shows the signals. They may be for cow's health, their well-being, nutrition, and about the production of the animal. For example, there is the milking time or the production, then cow alarms the owner that this is the time to milk. The challenge only is to recognize and use these signals for the particular purpose. These are the basic needs of the cows which shows the signals of these are the alarming points by which you can identify that what needs the cow. For example, light is the basic need of the cow, air, rest, space, feed, and water. These are the basic needs. You just have to look the what is the need and from the far away. You just have to observe everything either large or small and it will be physically obtained. You have not to think about the external or the macro or the gross features. Then you have to think about the root cause of the that particular signal and then act what is good for that signal in response to that particular signal and what has to be improved and do something for the betterment of the animal welfare and for the better performance or the production from the cows. For this purpose, you can identify the cows either it's a better or the suitable for the production like dairy or the beef. You have to judge the animal's body condition score. Second one is other score if a dairy production and breathing rate if normal or abnormal and fecal scoring it indicates the health and food scoring rumen scoring milk and ruminating or not. Another one is temperature and last one is alertness and the muzzle of the animals shows some signals which has to be read on your skill based. Number first is body condition scoring. Body condition scoring is a practical tool which is used to assess the body fat results. And cows should not be too fat or too thin based on the lactation state. And the body condition score varies on the basis of the lactation state. For example, if the newly calving cows have body condition scoring other than the in dry period and it shows if the ration meets its needs or not. This These are the some points from where you can identify the most of the characteristics or the signals while observing the cows like ribs, shoulder, hooks and pins, tail head and the transverse process is the most important factor which is used to identify the cows most of the signals. This should be kept in mind and you will recall in later on this video. So the body condition score is determined by the percentage of body fat by body condition score varies. For example, if body condition score is 1, then the cow is very severely emaciated or the thin and likely body condition score will be 9 when cow is very obese. This is mostly found in the beef cattle. Otherwise, the ideal body condition score is 4 and 5 for the dairy production. This one, while these above than the 6, 7, and 8, these are mostly found in the beef cattle breeds. These are the some of the body condition scoring for the examination point of view. And you can see in these pictures that in the very first picture there's ribs are visible, while in second picture it is somewhat covered but not as in 3. While you can observe that in body condition score 9 there is a heavy muscles and fat and bulging muscles, which indicates that there is a huge amount of the fat deposited. And second is udder scoring. Udder scoring is mostly determined in the dairy cattle by two ways. One is udder suspension from the suspensory ligaments. The udder scoring ranges from the 9 very tight to 1, which is very pendulous. It represents the assessment of udder support, and weak udder suspension results in pendulous udders that make it difficult for a calf to nurse. It makes difficulty and mobility as well as the calf to nurse. And there's another factor that is determined to score the udder is teat size. Teat size is used to score the udder. Score ranges from the 9 like to udder suspension. It is very small to 1 very large and balloon shaped teeth. Subject to assessment of teeth length and circumferences, teeth size also influences the uh, feeding of the calves. This is the diagrammatic representation of the udder scoring, in which the udder suspension number 9 is very tight close to the pelvic region, and the one is very pendulous or broken floor, which is these both are unideal or the unacceptable for the dairy purposes, because you can see in this that intermediate or the moderate udders are more preferred by the dairy farmers for milk production, while the teat size 9 is very small and 1 is very large balloon shaped as shown in the diagram. This is also, these are both are the undesirable conditions, while the teat size score 5 is mostly preferred by the farmers for the milk production, which is suitable for the feeding of the calves colostrum. If the calf is unable, if the calf is unable to milk or the to feed the milk or colostrum, then it may result in the score or the other immune problems. Udder should be, if you are going to select the dairy cattle, then what characteristic of the udders you should know, and how to determine that this cow is highly productive from the milk point of view. So you just have to know that the texture of the udder should be silky, it should be sac like, and strong suspensory ligament high up near the vulva region, and it should not hang below the hock, and average size udders are mostly preferred, as it has been shown that the large size udders are not better for the milk production, and teats of the average size pointing straight downward, and minimal friction with legs while walking or the grazing, and udder should be non-pendulous and pliable. So these characteristics are mostly used for selecting the dairy cattles. Note that disproportionate udder after milking indicates the mastitis. If the one teat is hanging downward and other one is not hanging properly or in disproportionate angles, then this indicates that cow must have are suffering from the mastitis. Fecal scoring. Fecal one score is porrid, watery or green color in the cattle, which is indication that animal is sick and have eaten the highly digestible ration containing excess proteins, carbohydrate, minerals, and low fiber content. This is the characteristic for in which score is 1. Fecal material is given score 2 are loose and lack the consistent form in consistency, which indicates that she has or the cattle or cows have eaten the food or the ration containing greater than 20% crude protein and greater than 68% TDN. Another one is third fecal scoring, fecal score 3, which is normal pet is formed and deeper than the score 2 but still not steak. It is mostly preferred that animal is healthy. It indicates the highly yield cattle ration containing 12 to 15% crude protein while 62 to 70% TDN, which is ideal for the dairy cattle. Fecal score 4 is 5 to 12 centimeter high up and peanut butter consistency, thick and deeper than the score 3. It's an indication that animal have eaten or lack of the rumen degradable proteins and excessive low quality fiber or not enough carbohydrates. And score number 5, in which fecal material or manure is 12 centimeter or more and it is firm and clearly defined segments in their consistency, which indicates that animal must have eaten inadequate protein, carbohydrate and high intake of the low quality fiber. This should be kept in mind that high quality fiber but high content of the fiber with low quality has been eaten by the animal. This is shown diagrammatically. You can examine that this is score 1, which is watery diarrhea, and manure scoring 2 is slightly thicker than the manure score 1, while manure score 3 is somewhat thicker and stakes than score 2, while in 4 it is somewhat formed and manure score 5 is hard or dry. And bubbly feces indicates the acidosis in some cases. Another one is rumen scoring. Rumen scoring, before starting that how to score the rumen, we have to determine that rumen scoring depends upon the feed intake or the factors which affects the diameter intake depends on water intake, rumen health, freshness of the feed, feed quality and palatability, lameness and access to the feed, moisture content of the feed, environment and social stress influences the dry matter intake, which ultimately influences or indicates the rumen score. Here you can examine that how to score the rumen. Rumen scoring ranges from the 1 to 5. Number 1 is empty stomach, which appears Y-shaped from the transverse line of the vertebral column or the lumbar vertebrae, and some forages in the rumen by fisting into the rumen indicates that this is an score 2, and score 3 indicates that there are 3 fingers and laser triangle from the transverse line. This is the transverse line and this makes the triangle. If it makes the Y shape, then this may matches to the score 1, while it is somewhat little bit than 1 or the Y shape, it indicates 2, while it is laser are from this region to this comes only 3 fingers, then it indicates that this is the Rumen score 3, while 4 and 5, in which skin comes straight from the last ribs to ascoxy pins as arrow shows, and it depends upon the lactation state and dry period. Mostly the rumen score 5 and 4 occurs in dry period while she is pregnant, and rumen content or the feeding is balanced very well. Second one is foot scoring. Foot scoring is done through two traits. One is culoset, another one is foot angle to the ground. Likely foot angle 5 is ideal. This is the angle 5, and culoset 5 is ideal also, which have the little bit separation between these class. Food signals healthy cows stand in the same way on every leg during eating. Means four legs are carrying the weight equally or evenly, and constant shifting of the weight, small movement pointing at the leg indicates the problems in class. And incorrect feeding with high protein content can lead to hoof growth, and sufficient heel of the hoofs making 45 degrees with ground is recommended, that hoof score is good. Hygiene scoring. There's hygienic conditions or the fecal materials on the legs and other body parts indicates the management. Likely in one score, legs are very clean. In score 2, they are slightly dirty. And score 3, there's moderate dirty. And score 4 is given to the very dirty body parts or the legs. Hygiene score can also be determined from the various body parts like udder, hooves, back, and hock regions. And temperature of the cattle is 37 to 38 considered normal, while above or below then this influences on the production or the physiology of the animal. Let us that high temperature to humidity indicates what? There may be the panting or expelling the carbon dioxide, and reduced saliva buffering capacity into the rumen, and increased respiratory rate, which results in drooling. It means less saliva to the rumen, and acidosis related to troubles are also found, and lower rumen pH and reduced milk yield. These are the conditions when temperature of the cows or the cow are in heat stress. These may be the losses to the farmers. This is the heat stress scoring, in which the temperature humidity index ranges between 72 to 78 indicates mild stress, while temperature humidity index between 79 and 88 there is a moderate stress, and between the 89 and 98 there is a severe heat stress on the animal, and the temperature humidity index above than 98 then the cows may found dead. Another one signal is rumination, or the cow is ruminating or not. Healthy cows ruminate 40 to 50% of the day. It means if cow is eating 12 days, 12 hours in a day, then it must have to ruminate around the 10 to 12 hours, and per cut a cow ruminates 50 to 70 times, while wide, strong, and wet muzzles with wide nostrils is also a good indicator of the health and dairy characteristic. As you can see in this, that cow is ruminating and muzzle should be observed. It is dry, then there must be a health problem like pain or fever, etc. Alertness of the animal indicates the health status of animal. Healthy cows are BIR, means bright, alert, and responsive. The cows have shiny skin and the ears are focused. It indicates that cow is healthy. A good rumen fill is also a positive signal that cow is in good state of the health. Like this. This is an example of the bright, alert, and responsive. And you can observe that the ears of the both cows are focused and facing towards the front ear. It indicates that cow is responding and is in healthy state. Legs can also the signals to the farm management and others, like bruises on the hocks and knees indicate poor housing, and loss of the hairs on certain areas indicate that bed resting areas of or the lameness. There may be the bed resting areas on the farm which causes the loss of hairs on certain areas of the legs. Like this, there the key that A indicates the hyperemic skin with hair losses, and B indicates the hygroma at initial stage, while C indicates healing wound on the hock region, and D indicates that this is a scare formation, which may indicates that this is the initial stage or the stage of the tumor like swelling on the lateral side of the hock. Milk production is also a signal that animal performs very well or in health condition. Sudden drop in milk production signal that something is wrong. Animal may be unhealthy or going to stage of the pregnancy. This indicates something to the animal happens. It may also be influencing factor that animal may be sick, which indicates that animal not able to produce the milk properly or adequately. Thank you very much. Today's lecture was all about this. Goodbye.